Somebody asked about a little bit more information on the PTS install, so since I was doing maintenance on it, I figure I'd kind of do a rundown of everything. So with the Masada, the PTS install, you're gonna have to wire it into the micro switch. It's not that hard. It might look complicated, but it's not. So I'm gonna take out the SMP. So what we have your stock wire harness, right? The wire harness again is cut and it's spliced. So if you see the yellow and the green go to your solenoid. The solenoid, it doesn't have any polarity, so it doesn't really matter which pole that the yellow or the green go to. What does matter is that you do not cross these two wires. You never want to short the solenoid wires out. That's the fastest way that you're going to brick your FCU. So again, you always want to make sure that the yellow and the green are healthy. They're not smashed. They're not cut. You don't want any bare wires sticking out of the yellow or the green. And again, yellow and green are going to your solenoid. This brown wire that's coming out of the harness, it's for the trigger. So whatever pole that you were using before on the AEG, you're going to use the same contacts on the micro switch. So brown wire is going to go to whatever contact you want to do. Again, polarity isn't that big of a deal on the micro switch for the trigger. The black wire coming out of your harness, it's going to be the ground, and it's actually a common ground. So the black wire is actually going to go to your fire selector, and it's going to go to your trigger. So you see, I actually have the black wire, it's made into a Y off this little micro switch, and it's also going into the trigger's micro switch. The red wire, again, this is for your fire selector. So depending on what position you choose to solder, and if this is open or closed, it's going to select your mode of fire. Okay, so yellow and green is going to the solenoid. Black is your common ground that goes to the red and the brown. Brown is your trigger. Red is your fire selector. This little micro switch here, it doesn't take a lot of pressure to close it. So it's literally only super glue down there. I prepped the case, I sanded it a little bit, cleaned it off really well with alcohol, and I just super glued the micro switch down. It's been like that for a while now. The cutoff lever, the main purpose for the cutoff lever is that when you move the plate on the back, it's going to move your cutoff lever. The cutoff lever is going to in turn turn this switch on and off, yeah. On the PTS, there's a little tooth over here that I shaved off, so it's not actually interfering with the micro switch, the mechanism. Also on the PTS install, on the SMP, there's a little nut on the bottom, or screw on the bottom. You actually got to shave it down, file it, whatever you want to do. You can Dremel it if you want to. The reason for that is when you put the unit in, and this is going to be true on almost any install that you're doing with the micro switch, you're going to have to shave down that little screw, because it needs to clear between the micro switch and the bottom of the SMP. So how the wires are arranged in this, it'll apply to basically any install that you're doing with the micro switch.